Hello friends, by the end of this video, you guys will be able to see this particular screen. So this screen is coming from, so this particular data is coming from an API call. So we are making an API call to this URL, and this URL is a dummy URL and giving you a dummy response. And you guys will be able to traverse that response, and you will see the response in your page. So stay tuned. Let's get started. So we have already our running application. So this is our first app. So probably what I'll be doing is, so we'll be making an API call. So this will be a very basic API call. And for this API call, we are using some open source JSON. This particular dummy REST API example will give you a get some dummy JSON kind of thing, and you can make an API call to get the data. So how can we use that data? So probably what we will be using is, so we can create so what kind of data it is. So it includes a data that has employee name, salary, and something like that. So what we will be doing is we'll be creating a table and showing those informations. So what is the recommendation? So how we can use that? So any API call in React is recommended to be used in component did mount. Okay, so we'll be writing a component mount function, and inside component mount, so we'll be making a fetch call. So fetch is something which is provided by JavaScript itself, and we are using the same whatever this open source API is, and probably this will return a promise, and when you say then, so it will give you a response, and this response will be something you don't know, so probably we can use any, and let's wait. Okay, so this will be a callback function, and this will return something that is called response, and you don't know the response actually, so that's why we are using any here. And this response is again used as a JSON. So this is how the actual fetch syntax is. So this response will not give you exact data, but when you use response dot JSON, and then you can use then to get the data actually. So this will be your result. So this result will be your data, and probably we don't know the result. So why I'm writing any is because we don't know the whatever the result would be. So in your cases, if you know that yes, this particular thing is coming from the API call, you can create an interface of that and you can use that. So probably we will be covering these kind of things in coming sessions. So how not to use any and what particular data type we need to use. So now we have the API calls ready. So let's say if I use console.log, and let's say if I do result.data, everything will be coming inside data. And if I go to console, so probably you can see you are getting the array of 24 lists. Okay, so now we need to bind this particular data in your application. So probably I'll remove this, and I'll create, let's say, a simple table, and this table will include so whatever the information you have, let's say the name, and so what are the informations, let's see. So if I go here, I can see they have name, salary, and age. Probably we can use these three will be enough for the reference: salary and age. So this will be the header. So if you go here, you can see name, salary, and age. Probably we can go ahead and change the CSS later once we have the data. So now how we can trigger or how we can render the data actually. So in that case, so we will be maintaining a state. So that's why whenever the state is updated, your data will be updated. Let's say all employee. Okay, so you have created a state and you have to pass that state here, and the initial value of the state will be something blank array. And what you need to create this actually, this dot, not this. So result dot data, everything is coming inside result dot data. So we will be mapping that data. So let's say result dot data, and data will be mapped and data will be returned. So anything you are getting inside this will be returned as a data, and we don't know this, so probably we can use any. Now this employee will be having all the data informations, and we need to create the TRs now. But those TRs will be dynamic. So probably here we can again create a map. This dot state dot all employee dot map. So every map will return a TR actually. And this will return TR, and every TR will be having a TD. Let's say the TD will be employee dot employee name. If let me copy this from here, it's employee underscore name probably, and employee underscore salary and employee underscore age. So we have already binded everything. So what's wrong? And now it's correct. So if you go here, so there is something called result.data is not a function. What is this? Actually the data is coming in the form of array, so probably we need to map that, and now you can see. So you can see all the data is here. So what it is doing is it is making the API call, and the state is getting updated, and you can see the states. So probably what we can do is we can go ahead and do place something with, let's say probably let's say 100%. What it is, yeah, or tr, and now probably th and td. We can do something like text line center. You can see, and for this probably we can give some border also, 1px solid. And what I'll do is I'll remove this and this, so you will see something black. Okay, for the color, sorry, I might have used all colors as black. Now you can see. So this will be the outcome of the whatever the API call you have made. So what we have done is, so we have made the API call, a random API call, which is making a GET request. The response is then traversed in all employees, and then again we are mapping this all employee function to the TR function. So this will be same, and going forward we will be using the JSON server. So we will not be using these dummy any API kind of thing. So what you guys will be able to do is you can create your own JSON server, and you can use that for any of the API calls. So this is very friendly. Probably in the next video we'll see that.